Kia ora and welcome along to the Met Service National Forecast for today, Monday. We are looking at a fairly settled story as we head through the rest of the day. Plenty of clear sky, but some cold temperatures returning as we head through the night time tonight. You can see on the satellite picture we've got plenty of clear sky, a fairly good southwesterly feeder there. You can see these clouds moving up from the south and the west, but with plenty of clear sky across most of the Southland and up towards the north. Plenty of dry weather in store for the rest of today. As we head through in towards the night time, we're going to keep hold of that southwesterly feeder air. You can see rather brisk winds through there. That's helping to generate a fair bit of swell around the coast as well. Something to watch out for if you're heading towards the coast, not just for the rest of today, but also through the rest of the week. Do bear that in mind for any coastal trips. As we go through the night time, it will be generally staying dry, but clear and pretty cold as we head through the night as well. Now we have got some wetter weather starting to push on towards those western coasts and some stronger winds pushing up towards the likes of, say, Southland and Otago, especially around those coastal parts as we head through towards the early hours of the morning. But for many of us, it is a dry night and a dry start to the day tomorrow, but it will be a cool one, especially you compare that to those temperatures we've seen over the last few weeks or so. Temperatures across those central parts of the North Island back down to about 1 degree Celsius. Similarly, for the likes of, say, Canterbury, a cold and even frosty start in a few spots. So it's worth bearing in mind it will be a cold start to Anzac Day. Worth keeping in mind a cold morning, especially around dawn for those early morning services. Do take those extra layers, but for many of us, it should be a dry and fine start. There is more cloud on the western coast, and we have got some wet weather pushing through there. That's going to be a feature of the weather as we go through the daytime, but you can see for most of the day on Tuesday, there's plenty of dry weather through the North Island and across the north and this eastern side of the South Island. There is more activity, though, on that western coast. Some heavier rain, perhaps some evening or nighttime thunderstorms. And we have got another front moving up from the south as we head in towards the end of the day as well. Ahead of that, some stronger winds, some wetter weather, but I think it is going to be a wet end to the day across those southern parts of the country. We have also got some severe weather watches in place. Now, these are for stronger winds ahead of that front as it moves northwards. So down in the south, places like Stewart Island and the southern coast of Southland are going to find those winds picking up from the fairly early part of the day, from 4 o'clock or so, first thing on Tuesday. Elsewhere, we'll find the winds increasing through parts of Canterbury up in towards the high country as we go through the daytime on Tuesday. And then once we start heading through towards the evening, and especially overnight, we'll find those winds picking up across the top of the South Island and even in towards places like the Tauranga district, those southern parts of Hawke's Bay and the northern parts of Wairarapa as we go through in towards Tuesday evening and right the way through in towards Wednesday as well. Some stronger southwesterly or westerly winds to watch out for. May reach severe gale in the most exposed areas and gusts perhaps up to 100 kilometres an hour. So something to keep in mind, especially as we go through the night time. But I think if we start off in the North Island, the weather is fairly settled for Anzac Day. There's plenty of dry weather across most of us. We are going to find some good clear skies from Wellington up through this eastern coast up towards the Bay of Plenty. Even on this western coast, there's a touch more cloud, but most spots will stay dry through the daytime. Might catch an isolated shower up towards Northland and Auckland, but very light and very few and far between. As we head through the afternoon, that cloud thick enough to bring a few showers through those higher parts of the central plateau. But there's plenty of dry and fine weather as we go through the daytime. And our temperatures probably highest out on the eastern side of the North Island, 19s and 20s, from, like to say, Hawke's Bay and Gisborne. For the South Island, while there's plenty of dry weather from, say, Nelson right the way around towards Blenheim and down through that Canterbury area, we are going to find there's more cloud down that western coast, some showers or perhaps even some longer spells of rain. And this next front edges up from the south as we head through the daytime, bring with it some heavier rainfall as we go towards the end of the day. And we could well find perhaps the odd rumble of thunder pushing through as well. Ahead of that front, we've got those stronger winds. So we have got that severe weather watch out for those far southern parts from around about 4 in the morning to about 4 o'clock at night. And we are going to find the winds increasing around the Canterbury high country as well as we head through the daytime. So keep an eye on those winds. Like I say, we could find gusts in those most exposed areas up to 100 kilometres an hour. So something to watch out for, particularly as we go through towards that second part of the day. In terms of our temperatures, again, it's the eastern coast, which looks like it bears the best of the sunshine. Highs here, 20 and 21 degrees Celsius for the likes of Christchurch and Timaru. As we go through towards Wednesday, that front continues to move northwards, so it will bring with it some showers. It will weaken as it comes up northwards. We have got those stronger winds through the Tauranga district, especially for that first part of the day on Wednesday. Once we head in towards the middle part of the week, though, high pressure builds across from the Tasman Sea, and generally things become quite dry as we go through towards Thursday and Friday. But do keep an eye on the forecast, especially in terms of our temperatures. We've got a couple of cool nights to come, especially as we go through and towards those early hours for Anzac Day. That's it from me. There's more at metservice.com.